and delighted to organize the E-National Conference on Advancements in Science and Humanities. We have 250 from various institutions. It is my privilege to recollect Supreme Principal of the Tirukural, Payantokar செய்த உதவி நயன் தூக்கின் நன்மை கடலிற் பெரிது, is most appropriate one to our management. Our college was established in the year 2001 by Raj Educational Trust. Our management is strong in our policy of no donation and no capitation, and have focused providing quality education to the poor and underprivileged students of this region. I am proudly say King's enters its 20th year of academic excellence in this academic year 2020-21. On this it is my privilege to recollect the Supreme Principal of the Tirukural, Payantokar செய்த உதவி நயன் தூக்கின் நன்மை கடலிற் பெரிது, is most appropriate one to our management. Our college was established in the year 2001 by Raj Educational Trust. Our management remains strong in our policy of no donation and no capitation, and have focused providing quality education to poor and underprivileged students of this region. I am proudly say King's enters its 20th year of academic excellence in this academic year 2020-21. On this occasion, we are honored to have our Secretary Sir, Dr. R. Rajan among us. Sir, I extend a very warm welcome to you on behalf of the organizing committee, and thankful to you that in your busy schedule you have taken time out to be with us. Matrix of softness, sincerity, hard working and modesty, our Principal Madam, Dr. J. Arpuda Vijayasethi, welcome you Madam, and also are thankful to you for leading us in a correct direction to achieve our goal. I exhibit my profound welcome to our guest, Professor Dr. K. Kannan, Dean, School of Education at Sastra University. He will deliver the inaugural address and also invited talk. Welcome you, sir. My sincere welcome to Mr. P. Nelson Rock, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Bishop Keeper College, who is going to deliver invited talk for us. Welcome you, sir. Man of resources and experience, I extend my welcome to our Vice Principal, sir, Dr. S. Shivakumar. Welcome you, sir. My special welcome to our HOD, sir, Dr. V. Kumar, who is the convener of this conference, and also welcome HODs of various departments of our college. I offer my hearty welcome to all the faculties joining with us from other colleges. I extend my welcome to all our staff members, the major source of all our victory. Last but not least, I would like to welcome our participants and presenters from various institutions across the country and also encourage them to participate actively in the session. Once again, I welcome all of you on behalf of King's family. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I cordially invite our mentor, philanthropy, and our role model, beloved Secretary Sir, Dr. R. Rajendran Sir, to give a presidential address.
Respected Principal and the Patron of the Conference, Patron, Conference Chair, members of the Advisory Committee, Technical Committee and the Organizing Committee, Secretaries and the participants. Good morning. The Department of Science and Humanities of King's College of Engineering in right time has arranged National Conference on Advancements in Science and Humanities. Congratulations to the organizers. We are living exacting time where knowledge flows and gets shared like never before. We are flooded every day with wholesome technological, scientific innovations that are almost immediately incorporated into our lives. Science is no longer the exclusive domain of scientists and is more present than even in our day-to-day life. The contents related to literature, art, philosophy, history, social sciences, etc. should be taken into account and the advancements in these fields should be analyzed. The understanding and communication between the scientific community and humanistic is very essential to solve so many problems of the world. Creativity, self-improvement, analytical skills, effectiveness in problem solving, research, discussion, reflection, collaboration, empathy skills, etc. are not dependent solely on scientific knowledge, but rather on the ability of individuals. The values and ethical principles of a society are shaped by history, philosophy, art, language, literature, etc. and of course by science. And its study is very important to get to know ourselves as individuals and as a society. The classical Greek philosophy was seen as the mother of all sciences, namely as an integral subject covering all branches of knowledge. We need and less technological progress, individuals with a strong background in values and with enough vision to meet new challenges. The new concepts and theories in economics solve problems of the society at present. The development of biotechnology is helpful for the growth of agriculture. Before 1961, new technology was not introduced in agriculture, but only in 1960, high-yielding varieties, chemical fertilizer and other scientific methods were introduced in agriculture. Now, we witness a tremendous growth in science, advancements in information technology, aerospace, nuclear science, manufacturing technology, automobile engineering, chemical engineering, shipbuilding engineering, space science, electronics, computer science, and other medical sciences are very helpful to the nation. Scientific advances and the technological changes are important drivers of recent economic performance. Science, technology, and innovation are now key to improving economic performance and social well-being. So, the discussion and the interaction in the conference should focus on the advancements in science and humanities for the benefit of individuals and the society. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your entire support and engagement. Leadership, it's not about glorious crowning act. It's about keeping the team focused on a goal and motivated to do their best to achieve it. Now, I would like to call upon our respected principal ma'am, Dr. J. Arpita Vijayaselvi ma'am, to felicitate the conference. Over to you, ma'am.
Very good morning to all of you and a hearty welcome to King's College of Engineering, Punalkulam, Tanjavur, Tamil Nadu. On behalf of the organizers, I would like to extend my warm wishes to the participants of the National Degree Conference on Advancements in Science and Humanities, NCASH 2020. With profound gratitude, I thank all the members of Advisory Committee and resource persons of the course, especially Dr. K. Kannan, Dean, School of Education, Shastra University, Tanjavur, and Mr. P. Nelson Raj, Bishop, Peter College, Trichy. Knowledge sharing is powerful, and it is possible that the academia, industrialists, and researchers have gathered remotely together today to explore the recent developments in science and to exhibit their research on NCASH 2024. All the themes selected for discussion in the conference is the need of the hour. It is a responsibility of the academia and researchers to discuss the most recent developments in their fields to the society and make it aware of the happenings. It is a responsibility of the academia and researchers to disseminate the most recent developments in their fields to the society and make it aware of the happenings. Hence, let us together make this conference a unique one by actively participating and sharing of thoughts and views. I congratulate the convener, members of the organizing committee, and wish them success. I thank all the participants for their contribution to the society's conference. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am, for your fullest guidance and directions. Now, I would like to invite Mrs. S. Geeta, Professor of Mathematics, to present the credential of the resource person.
Good morning. It is immense pleasure for me to introduce our resource person, Dr. K. Kannan. Dr. K. Kannan is a professor of mathematics and Dean, School of Education at Shastra University, Tanjavur. He has 35 years experience and is also a research chair for discrete mathematics. He has guided many scholars and published more than 100 articles which are science certificate indexed. His research interests include machine learning, image processing, combinatorial optimization, wavelets, data analysis, and mathematical modeling. He has successfully completed 5 projects funded by DST Government of India. I hope that this session will be very much helpful to students, research scholars, and faculty members. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, I would like to welcome our resource person, Dr. K. Kannan, Dean, School of Education, Shastra University, to deliver the inaugural address. Over to you, sir.
Very good morning to every one of you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It gives me immense pleasure to participate in the conference, to inaugurate the conference which is being conducted in a grand manner. At the outset, I wish to thank our Shastra University authorities for permitting me to not only to inaugurate this conference, but also to give an invited lecture on the applicability of the mathematics in science education. I further wish to thank the authorities of King's College of Engineering for giving an opportunity for inaugurate such conference where the august presence of experts, students and the teachers are available. Once again, I wish to congratulate and thank the organizers of this unique conference, e-conference, on this advancement of science as the main theme conference. Advancement of science and humanities as the main theme of this conference. You know, what is science actually? What is technology? What is arts? How do they go hand in hand for educating a good variety of people? If you look at this from this young, arts is simplified. Technology or engineering is applied science with instruments. These are the different.
வீடியோ வந்து வாய்ஸ் வருது அவங்க வீடியோ வருது
educating students in art, science and technology face challenges from time to time as to how such products have taken place to increase the intensity education system. That is, the mutual interaction between teacher and the taught must be well thought before the delivery of the subject in this classroom. Face-to-face classroom situation provides much amount of room for the thought. Whereas now in this COVID era, almost face-to-face learning is not there, we can say. We need to depend upon NPTEL, SWAYAM lectures and the e-conferences, workshops, e-workshops and the webinar sections to learn more and more. In this critical situation, the educational institutions have come up for conducting e-conferences, e-workshops, webinar sections, not only to impart education via research, via consultancy, also in the teacher talk session. So, majority of video-based lectures are imparted to students in an online way to know the subject depth from time to time in the different manner. In this context, I wish to congratulate the team which is working for such type of e-conference, e-workshops, sessions and other things of King's College of Engineering. Quite often I am seeing all these things. I wish to congratulate for this unique endeavor that they are taking up. Earlier, gave a webinar on mathematics, applying essential mathematics for engineering research and projects a few days back. Dr. Kalidasan has been an inspiring source to me for us to conduct such webinars not only in King's College of Engineering but also being organized by other institutes. And succeedingly, I have been giving a series of lectures on essential mathematics for engineering projects. Now, this e-conference is mainly meant for the research exposure that is the experts are holding. Many analyses that have come out of experiments that come out of here investigations are going to be presented as research papers, as I understand. On the other hand, they have arranged for lectures, invited lectures also. So these two lectures, followed by presentation of such type of research papers, will bring more amount of knowledge to the listeners, to the learners. On that ground, I am very happy to be with you today, not only to inaugurate the conference, but also to give an invited lecture. On the other hand, the National Education Policy 2019 that talks much about higher education, higher quality education, not only higher quality simply education, but also science education, technological education, whatever you call it. And the pattern, the 10+2 pattern has also been changed to one more pattern that is established in the future. Before this COVID problem has come. Even in the COVID problem, the teaching learning mechanism is not going down, it is going up through the e-conferences and e-workshops. And even such a troubled environment, King's College come up to conduct this e-conference. In addition to congratulating the team members, I am very happy to inaugurate this conference, that is e-conference, on this unique theme. Thank you for the opportunity given to me for inaugurating this conference, and I am eagerly waiting for this invited lecture to take place in this next 5 minutes. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. And we are also waiting for a vibrant session. Here we have to follow some instructions. Participants and presenters, kindly follow the instructions. Presentation session will shortly sharp at 11 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
Kindly follow your host instructions for your successful presentation. Feedback link will be posted in the chat box at the end of the session. You will receive e-certificate through your registered email ID within a week. Interested participants will also witness the presentation session. You will post your queries and doubts to eNcash mail ID kingsencash2020@gmail.com. I request the participants to mute their audio. It's our honor and privilege for us, sir, to have you with us, and we are very happy to present before you a renowned academician, Dr. K. Kannan, sir, for the invited talk on the topic applicability of mathematics for science studies. We are eagerly waiting for your vibrating session, sir. I request Dr. K. Kannan, sir, to kindly proceed.
Yes, thank you, madam.
Thank you.
The outset, audible?
Yes, please, sir.
Yeah. At the outset, I wish to thank the organizers of this conference for this invited lecture to be given to me on the theme higher mathematics for science. This is a very broad topic under days and days can be spent for giving lectures. So, mathematics is a domain that has now split according to the advancement of technology into pure mathematics, applied mathematics, industrial mathematics, and so on and so forth. In addition to mathematics being strict and to mathematics, statistics, and several branches of statistics, several branches of mathematics come into play. Whereas, if you take physics, chemistry, biology, all other science subjects, the involvement of mathematics starts from addition, subtraction, till theorem proving, algorithm setting, software code writing, and implementation for the learning schemes to be established in a digital computer. Up to this level, this math has gone up. On those days, people used to say, if you don't know mathematics, very difficult to study science subjects. Today, people used to say, if you don't know computer, you may not be able to study science. Up to that much extent, the mathematics has been rooted in every branches, including art, science, engineering, technology, whatever you call it. From this scenario, if you look at mathematics, how high school subjects are being taught with mathematically driven theorems, formulas, operators, etc., are quite different from how advanced science subjects are driven by higher mathematics. How to understand the higher mathematics involved in advanced science, so as to precisely explain what the scientific concepts say, and what the scientific concepts say that can be established over a digital computer, so that learning can take place even in the absence of the teacher. In that way, it has gone up to maximum level. And the majority of NPTEL lectures, Swayam and other online courses have started now. So, even then, face-to-face learning is not replaceable by such type of online course. That everybody knows. You know, talk and chalk, something different. They are saying, students are asking the question directly, and the teacher's gesture mean much to the students. So many things are there. So, if a teacher does not write anything on the board, you imagine the situation. What can be understood from that? Very simple. So, from that perspective, how mathematics is used for science studies, what we have learned via mathematics, scientific concepts in our scholastic studies is something different. Now, what we are going to see is how higher mathematics is being involved in type of studies. As I already told you, it is a very wide topic, and hence I confine my talk to higher mathematics for these three branches: physical sciences, chemical sciences, and the biological sciences. We are limited only to physical and chemical sciences and not biological sciences, for one. Number two, I talk about some physics explained by mathematical equations and some chemistry principles explained once again by mathematical equations, followed by a physical research problem being solved by higher mathematics. This is the plan for this lecture. When we talk about higher mathematics, what is higher mathematics? Addition, subtraction are on the primary schools, and compound interest, simple interest, that type of mathematics come after that. Then you have algebra, equations, theory of equations, vector calculus, and so many things. High school students are studying, or higher secondary school students are studying. Now, how they are applied to physical things. We are going to see next. After that, we will take some problems in one problem in physical science, in signal processing, and how higher mathematics can be applied to it so as to denoise partial discharge signal. That's what we are going to do in this lecture. So, going to the higher mathematics or physical sciences to just to take this problem. Fluid dynamics. Fluid dynamics forms an integral part of physics, and the fluid dynamics has got advancement to maximum extent. Almost civil and mechanical engineering branches students have got fluid dynamics as the main subject. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Now only it is audible. Just a few minutes, sir. Now it is audible. Now it is audible, sir.
Right from the beginning, am I audible?
No, sir. Correct. Correct, sir. Only few minutes.
Okay, thank you. Now, Navier-Stokes equations are the fundamental equations created by this Newton, Stokes and Navier. And these equations are now being simulated in various environments to create various types of fluids. And once these types of fluid flows are created, then that has been converted to technology. Aerospace technology contains so many fluid changes. Everybody knows that. And it is a very thrilling situation that this has been found long back by Navier, Stokes and Newton. And these equations are still alive despite the enormous computational power created in the computer era. Even now, some critical types of fluid flow, say two-phase fluid flow, multi-phase fluid flow, are simply analyzed by Navier-Stokes equation, can give several outputs in terms of variables, parameters, and so many. From that perspective, Navier-Stokes equation forms the fundamental law of the fluid dynamics. The assumptions being the laminar flow should be incompressible flow, gravity body force term must be included. What are the governing Newton's law of viscosity, as I told you? Positive. These are all the governing laws of such type of categories. They are the continuous equation delta t equals 0, followed by momentum equation rho substantial derivative of t with respect equals negative pressure gradient plus gravity term plus diffusion term. So, since they are following some of the linearity principles, this equation has been created and proven. The solution to this differential equation is still open. That means only the boundary conditions or simplifying assumptions are given to this is solved. Since this is highly non-linear, people used to assume boundary conditions and the other initial conditions according to the type of flow, simplify the stereo association to some other thing, and only they solve either by using finite difference method, finite element method, whatever method you call that. Those methods are due to mathematical discoveries, and people used to solve to obtain this under the boundary condition with the underlying assumption. The substantial derivative and the ordinary derivative, you know the difference. Substantial derivative, we are seeing the particle from outside and the particle dynamics is being studied. Ordinary derivative is they are in one among the particles and the view is from the particle side itself. The difference between, simple difference between this and the major differences can be enumerated as we study the fluid dynamics. I am not going to much deeper into the fluid dynamics because that itself is an ocean that require at about not only 100,000 of lecture hours. Now this equation contains a total derivative term, a gradient term, a body force term, and a difference term. And other types of Navier-Stokes equations are also there, which can be containing more amount of terms according to the type of flow. Now I am just saying the very first Navier-Stokes equation from where the other things need to be calculated. Then to one more application. Coming to one more application of air mathematics, we have finite element method or finite volume method. You look at this figure. Step. How a creature in nature can be simulated or can be inspired in a biological fashion so as to create the deformation tensor equations which can calculate several terms according to the element properties or volume being covered or vector flow. The same type of Navier-Stokes equations can be thought of with a nonlinear term being induced here, V dot V multiplied by T. Once again this term, then this nonlinear term del square V, then negative pressure gradient. With the total derivative, partial derivative uncertainty, and just together this continuity equation. So continuity equation with this modified form of Navier-Stokes equation with element properties can also be considered will lead to finite element method to understand or to analyze the behavior of the fluid flow over a finite volume or finite element by dividing the element into several integral parts or subgeometric parts. And each subgeometric part needs to be thought over with deformation tensor principles also. So this is one more application with respect to air mathematics. Then coming to chemical sciences, we have the Bessel functions. The Bessel functions, modified Bessel functions, are extremely useful in heat transfer studies in the annular things. Since the part of the aeroplane that can conduct heat, that can one from one end to the other end, and dissipate heat in the weaker side. Here also, the governing equation is the Bessel's differential equation. X square d square by dx plus x dy by dx plus x square minus a square multiplied by y equal to 0. And a particular form of the solution to this Bessel equation provide a Bessel function Bessel functions are of two kinds. One is Bessel function of first kind, Bessel function of second kind, and this is an infinite series expression that talk about the approximations of curves corresponding to the mathematics involved in such type of heat transfer from one end to the other end. And the heat transfer from the one end to the other end, it is governed by the Bessel equation. Whereas, when you go for approximate temperature calculations and other things, accurate temperature calculations and other things, this equation needs solution. Though this differential equation looks to be simple, the order of the Legendre equation or order of the term, that means much physical interpretation of this governing law. And this physical interpretation includes the temperature finding also, the heat measure also, and how the dynamic behavior of heat transfer from one end to the other end takes place need severe or deeper mathematical analysis. That's why I have quoted the differential equation and the solution to it. And once this Fim efficiency is plotted in y-axis and the parameter plotted in x-axis, the curves are drawn with respect to this solution to this problem, heat transfer and things, annular things problem, with the help of this Bessel equation. This is one more application in chemistry. Once again, if we come to heat flow initiated in a hollow infinite cylinder with an appropriate initial condition, and here also it forms the roots of Bessel functions. And there is a differential equation called the Bessel differential equation, to whom Bessel function will form the solution, and MATLAB command for simulating this is Bessel A1, Bessel 2. These are all the inbuilt functions in MATLAB, with which one can compute solution to the differential equation so as to correspond a heat conduction from any geometry, spherical geometry or cylindrical geometry, whatever you call. This is one more chemistry applications with respect to heat transfer, particularly heat transfer using this Bessel function. So Bessel function and Legendre polynomials are two components of higher mathematics that is involved in say mathematical physics studies and MTech for chemical engineering, mechanical engineering and civil engineering studies, with finite element method and the finite volume method are followed. So these higher mathematical components are essential for not only for solving problems, but also for giving a physical interpretation, chemical interpretation in a precise manner. So mathematics is an educational entity that talks precisely about science. That is why mathematics is called the queen of science. Now, coming to this higher mathematics component with special reference to physical sciences and the chemical sciences, even now itself, I think I have been given only 35 minutes to give this lecture. So, if telling this much about these two sciences governed by higher mathematical principles, it will always be better to talk about a case study. A case study that talk about signal processing in physics, how higher mathematics is exactly applied. Before that, one more higher mathematical component recently being discovered is wavelengths. First, it has been started in Fourier period, Fourier transform, then discrete cosine transform, discrete sine transform, then Fourier transform, then short time Fourier transform, then before only 50 to 60 years only the wavelet came into picture. Now what is new in wavelet? Simply telling, the time and the frequency window may be brought inside a computer for geometric expressions to be given. Whereas the time resolution is on one domain, frequency resolution on the other domain. So engineers use mathematical principles to discover the frequency-based physical interpretations and time-based physical separately, and they have been combining this long back, say before 1950. And after that one, after the computer, that is 1988, this wavelet transform, both continuous and the discrete wavelet transform, became easily programmable, and hence the wavelet has taken a lead to Fourier transforms so as to represent any engineering phenomenon, any science phenomenon with the help of appropriate geometries being explained to the students by writing program on command window and run program and mathematics to be seen alive. Though the theoretical investigation behind that such type of pure mathematics is hidden only, the applied mathematics have brought out wavelet analysis in a different manner so that the physical situations can be engineered with such type of tools, either to estimate or to take or to select or to optimize the parameters involved in the both the physical and the chemical processes. From that perspective, this wavelet gains more important things. For that, again, as I was saying, time domain analysis, and the other one is frequency domain analysis. This time frequency analysis is brought to a same window that we have quadratic approach and the linear approach. The linear approach gives to wavelet transform and time wavelet transform, whereas the quadratic approach provides time frequency distribution, the two individual wavelet frames. So, why in fact this is, the Wiener and the other distributions for the sum of two sine waves is being exhibited here with the help of two figures, for which the mathematical equations hail from the convolution or other operations of integrals driven by the kernel function e power j omega is a function of two different, one is time and the other is interval fraction. So with the help of this, one can do Fourier transform, whatever you call S transform and other things, Stockwell transforms are now coming into play. There are totally 23 integral transforms in mathematics literature, in higher mathematics literature. If the Laplace transform meant for real-time problems can also be extended to a complex inversion formula to obtain the infinite series solution for majority of the flow problems which are termed out to be nonlinear. And majority of such nonlinear problems arising in physics and chemistry are simply interpreted by the mathematical equations, and the mathematical equations are not solvable through analytic solutions. The analytic methods, we can have numerical methods, up to the numerical method, finite difference, finite element method. So many methods are available for both the physicists and the chemists for solving the problems, physical problems that arise out of the analysis of physics and the chemistry. Moreover, now, because of the advent of computer science, the one more subject has emerging. That is what is called data science. Data science, data analytics, big data analytics are the popular software-based tools are now available in terms of software codes which are used for majority of data analytic problems came from both science and engineering. And colleges have started giving data science as a special subject or data analytics as a special subject or elective subject. That to be going with hand in hand with the engineering subject, so as to carry out the useful projects which are majority of which are computer assisted. For computer assisted projects that have been taken up by students in their fourth year of engineering or third year of fifth year of integrated science program or second year of PG program, whatever you call that needs some data analysis. Without data analysis, the parameter one cannot expose to the parametric study. And the statistics behind such type of parametrical study, once again it is vast. On this, statistics was studied as the subject only. Now the statistics is studied as statistical learning theory. And the statistical learning theory provides the structural minimization of parameters than the empirical minimization of parameters. From that point of view, the computer assistance related to statistical learning theory provide much amount of data analytic knowledge that need to be taught by not only by mathematicians but also by physics masters, chemistry masters. Unless otherwise, these three professors of science teachers shake their hands, much amount of research is only imaginary, that may not be real. So from that point of view, the higher mathematics component need to be studied with the physical significance of the processes involved not only in physics but also in chemistry, so as to enhance, so as to advance the physics education and the education. Now I am passing on to a case study in signal processing where a corresponding physical component, every teacher will tell you. What I am going to tell you is how an advanced algebraic concept can be applied to signal processing so that any signal can be determined once the signal is represented by data. That's what I am going to tell. Now, signal is a bit of information, everybody knows. Signal can be represented as we are representing the Z and H vector. Then we take Xi as transpose of a part of the signal. That is also belonging to this alpha value. Consider a function which can map Zi onto Xi. Finding the trajectory matrix of this will be from you. This is, for your information, this is a symmetric matrix, and the symmetric matrix needs to have only eigenvalues, real eigenvalues. It cannot have imaginary eigenvalues, and against all real-time problems, whatever is hidden can be brought out with the help of this matrix. And this particular arrangement of these elements in a matrix is called Hankel matrix. This Hankel matrix, length of the vector is assumed to be L and the K is assumed to be n minus L plus 1. X is a Hankel matrix that satisfies this relation. Then singular value definition, mathematicians know it pretty well. Physics masters should have taught this in their MS programs. Eigenvalues lambda n. Singular values psi I of the matrix X transpose or X transpose the conjugate transpose of the matrix X. We assume lambda I to be I. Then the Frobenius norm. Frobenius norm is defined to be trace of X transpose followed by the norm representation X star equal to X transpose divided by is 2 norm F. The Hankel norm can also be defined as norm of X to be sigma I, where the sigma's I we arrange in the descending order. Now theorem, if a Hankel matrix taken up with so many rows and so many columns, eigenvalues of x transpose are lying between 0 and 1 only. Summation of all such eigenvalues will be 1. Each eigenvalue is greater than or equal to 1 by capital N, where N is the number of rows. This is a theorem. Proof I am not giving you to want of time. Now if you take an arbitrary signal y of t, we can split that into a noise component and a noiseless component y of t, and keeping the zeta of t as this phi of t can be expressed as the involving of two different components, one is on impulse function and the other is input signal. And if you consider the transform of this arbitrary signal of t, it can be assumed like this. Then Hankel matrix can be converted from the Z transform issues, symmetric matrix like this, for which we induce an iterative technique, xi plus 1 equal to pxi plus qui and yi equal to mxi plus n equal to. With initial conditions u0 equal to 1, uk equal to 0 for k positive, x0 equal to 0 and n equal to 0 are there. Assuming the initial conditions are d equal to 0, the two equations can be brought down to this form 7 and 8. 0 initial conditions provide this x0 equal to 0, x1 equal to p, x0 plus q equal to 2, y0 equal to 0. Putting I equal to 1, 2, 3, etc., we can generate this. And hence, this matrix, total matrix, can be split into this one and this one. That is, one column vector and the other is row vector, whose product is AB. The Hankel matrix can be written as this much, where you have AB representation. Now, the singular value decomposition, you know well how to decompose this, obtain the singular value. Ux square V transpose, this can be split into this can be A. Similarly, we can provide a such star equal to AB everywhere we go. Then the decomposition is not a one property. TQM, different alternatives can occur. TPT inverse, TQ, MT inverse, and the transformation is provide an iterative scheme. The Rankavli matrix can also be calculated. The rank minimization algorithm is available in the literature. I am not showing much about those here for want of time. A expresses a singular value decomposition here. Then all the sigmas are arranged in the descending order. V transpose equal to 1, xpk equal to sigma k dq. These are all the derivations from the mathematical treatment to those. Optimal matrix expression also we can have, like this expression 7. Then what I have explained, converted this to an algorithm like this. Y equal to s plus n, construct Hankel matrix, perform SPD operation, obtain x star as the product of this, then applying SSA and SPD to this can have. May take another few minutes. Hello, am I audible? Am I audible? May I continue?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Yeah. Using the minimum singular value of x star, we can write x star equal to US dash. And the noisy signal and the filtered signal can also be represented via these algorithms that can be calculated also. If we take partial discharge phenomena deriving from electrical insulation systems, where data can be driven by doing some experiments using the high voltage laboratory. Actually, high voltage laboratory is there. This partial discharge data have been driven from that. Those data are only undergo this type of treatment under Hankel transformations, and we have denoise signal. Insulation failure, measurement circuits and insulation failure, partial discharge, incomplete breakdown, partial breakdown when it was like this. Portion of the insulation collapses, essentially occurs in the gas dielectric. Dot with the electrical electrodes completely localized. gas discharge. Healthy portion of the insulation can withstand the voltage stress. These are all the partial discharge occurrences captured via the terms used are local breakdown, corona, stopover, partial breakdown, partial discharge. And types of partial include internal discharge, surface discharge, corona discharge. The reason for occurring noise, here only our theme comes. Radio waves, electrostatic discharges, power utility transients, corona, like thermal. Types of external interferences include discrete spectral interference, periodic pulse shaped interference, stochastic shaped noise. Difficulty in noise separation, CD signal noise is amplified, affects the sensitivity and relative capacity. Frequency domain denoising, that the volt research use Fourier transform as the main tool, for which the disadvantages being thresholding disadvantages, reduces the pressuring or the processing time, but the filter of very high order to analyze the signal and poor stability and confidence. Time domain dimension include Kalman filter method and adaptive filter method. Software based denoising include education, artificial intelligence for the transform, we have the transform, but bond transform, but none of this we are following just Hankel matrix computation. Fourier transform, traditional denoising, that Fourier transform has got its own advantages and disadvantages. Simulation of noise is by in this equation, and white noise is physically unrealistic in infinite hour, possible to approximate noise at white, and Gaussian distribution. And simulated one more noise is simulated with the help of this equation, for which there should be some metrics to understand how accurate the noise is removed, for which we are using P-signal to noise ratio PSNR, mean absolute error, signal to noise error, root mean square error. This root mean square error is very famous for the science studies. Wherever we go, we have root mean square is greater than arithmetic mean, is greater than geometric mean, is greater than harmonic mean. This inequality every one of us knows. Some of the studies we use geometric mean. For some studies we use harmonic mean also, Diamond distribution properties. Whereas, if you track dynamically something wrong that is happening, then one has to do root mean square. Take this granted. Root mean square is a dynamic tracking of noise, of some peculiar behavior in a physical scenario, or physical process, or chemical process, whatever process. Simulated PD signals, simulated radio signals have been obtained, and the noise is introduced. A denoise points are also given. The spectral density is calculated for conserving the energy bit. Then you have what all the findings with respect to this HSTD filter, that are removing noises irrespective of the noise type. Very important. Irrespective of the noise type, and the noise level ranging from 5 dB to 50 dB. One simulated signal and one real-time measured signal is used to here. The numeric results are displayed here. Then a few more figures with respect to simulated environment and the lab environment. Field signals are also being processed like that. Then denoise results of real-time field with various noises are also described here. And how seismic signals can be denoised, that we have also been analyzed. The results are shown in these figures. Then the error comparison between simple value decomposition and enhanced signal value decomposition are shown here. In this fashion, we apply the Hankel matrix. The advanced matrix theory is being applied not only non-linear, but also singular value decomposition, simple component analysis, independent component analysis. So many methods are applied to denoise this, but still the Hankel matrix based enhanced singular values decomposition denoises any type of noise in any type of signal with respect to the partial discharge that arise from the high voltage lines. Going to the end of this lecture, that now we have seen one physics example, one chemistry example, with the help of only equations and the figures, and I have provided you one case study where the physical science component, the signal processing is taken up, and the advanced mathematics concept called advanced linear algebra, how it can be applied for denoising the signals obtained from the model. This is what we have seen in this lecture. Now, if the lecture is scheduled for 1.5 hours or 2 hours, how could it be? You ask the question, lecture could be with more amount of physical and chemistry concepts in primary level, secondary level, higher secondary level, and in the higher education level. From that, it can easily go. It can easily be processed. But still, since the listeners are both researchers and professors, I directly took up some advanced concepts in mathematics and given this lecture. As I already told you, it is a ocean in which mathematics is a sea, once again in which what I have presented is not even a drop in a river or a pond, which is 1 divided by 1 crore of a sea. It's not even 1 divided by 1 crore of a sea. So much amount of knowledge ought to be imparted by the teaching community in the future, even in the COVID era. So much more things ought to happen in the e-learning by the student community from the teaching fraternity. So from that point of view, the learning should go ahead without any difficulty. So face-to-face interaction as well as the online interaction of teachers and students to take place in a higher manner. I pray the omnipotent to reach every one of us in the world from the corona virus for education to come up different dimensions with different deeper insights from experts. As a concluding remark, I have of the research scholar into psychology that include analytic mind, communication skills, concentration, determination, dedication, global outlook, innovative approach, keen observation and other things. Similarly, some intellectual part, freedom from clock and calendar, passion for knowledge, passion for persistence, precision and accuracy, presentation skills. I keep 6 hours serving men. They taught me all I knew. Their names are God, wife, and where and how. This is the God from. We are different. 65. I thank every one of you for the opportunity given. How? Any doubt, any clarification, you can raise. I am waiting for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Definitely it is a vibrating session, and sir has given very deep structures of all the ideas and information to enrich their teaching through effective as a sir. And definitely the participants and the presenters gain a lot of information and take away the points for the subsequent future. Once again, I thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Now, I would like to call Assistant Janasrami, Assistant Professor of English, to introduce the resource person, Mr. C. Nathan Lodge.
I'd like to introduce Mr. P. Nelson Rasa, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Bishop Keeper College, Trichy. Speak about his studies. He completed MPhil, BA, MSc Psychology, currently pursuing his doctoral degree at Bishop Keeper College, Trichy. He is having 18 years of teaching experience in English language and literature teaching. He is specialized in English language teaching. His publications goes like this: The Transformation of Jane Austen Heroine from Illusion to Reality in 2007. Published a book entitled John Scott's Vision of Man and Man in 2007. He has published research papers in various international journals. He has presented papers in numerous conferences. He has acted as a person for various academic activities at various stages. He has organized 2 faculty development programs and an international conference. He is a member in English Language Teachers Club, International Congress on English Brass, English Language Teachers Association. We are very happy to have the personality for the session, sir. Now, I request our resources to give the inventive talk on the topic Demand of English in Difficult Times. Sir, the session is yours.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. Before I start my talk, I wish to thank Professor Rajeshwaran, who has invited me to give this lecture at this juncture. I was wondering about the present scenario when he just gave this answer for delivering this lecture. Everyone was shut in. There is no opportunity to come out. What are we going to do positively in the academic side? The determination the professor, Mr. English professor, he motivated me, so to say. So nothing is there in this world, everything is going on as usual. We shall try our level best. Our college has scheduled like this. Could you? I didn't say no to him because I never say no to my friends. We have been friends for a long time. So I asked him, Rajesh, what is the topic I am going to present, or what is the topic you have put in your college? And he said, sir, whatever the topic is current issue, we shall just make it the point. There, I understand the flexibility in English. I should thank him, to thank Almighty Jesus for this wonderful opportunity created. I should thank the management in college. I should thank the HOD, Science and Humanities, and other departments who are organizing this wonderful conference in a successful manner. I should thank the principal also. A wonderful talk from your professor. Very good and positive, vibrative talk from him. And one more word to the presenter, the invited talker, Dr. Khan. Heavy pouring. I just enjoyed his talk. So some of the terms are really new to me. After my 12th standard, I changed my stream. My mathematics was ended there itself. After that, Bachelor of and other things are going on. between we have a good gap. That's all. And more the heavy information on this, I was hearing. Usually people, they start light start, then the final hero will emerge and deliver it. That is the usual way. Sir has given voluminous information, heavy information, easy to even comprehend first. I don't know. I hardly understand why many of the time. That is, the rich knowledge he has acquired in past teaching life. The invited thought will not be that heavy enough. Anyhow, the primary level goes to give more information. I cannot even go off the distance of Dr. Kannan. That is his greatness, that is his knowledge. I can say, I can depict him in such a way. He is a repertoire. Yes, a perfect repertoire of knowledge. Great storehouse. Okay, coming back to the topic. What is a demand? What is a demand? Should there be a demand? Since the language is spoken almost the world, by the world population. You can infer this, one can understand this. In different modes. That is, that if stay here in the same place for a long period, it is not easy. You should get information from outside source. How far the demand in English has been grown in a great manner in this area. The demand to learn English is not new in Indian situation. Why? The need to learning English, when it is heavy, it becomes demand. Right? This is the case even in English. Initially, we were unknown to English language. Maybe after the invasion of the English colonies, English was properly introduced to Indian soil. We all know it. That history was confident for everyone. When they started ruling India, slowly, steadily, in Indian soil is a need at the time. So Britishers created a need to learn English at that time. When the number of people who can English is not equivalent to the need, that becomes demand. For example, 5 different families, they arranged for a special party, they ordered for certain vegetables. If all the 5 families, they ordered vegetables in a particular shop, if they do have the requirement to be supplied, it is well and good. That is the nature. Instead of 5, 10 different families at the same time ask the same vegetables, that becomes demand. Means the suppliers not meet out what is asked. The same thing is there related to English language also. 10 different postings. That's an example. 10 different postings are being given to talented people who can speak in English. But one thing is that the demand is not met. The need is not completed. So the need becomes demand. The present scenario is the same. the demand in English in the present scenario, the globalization, the Indian English becomes the greatest one if you just see math. Globalization makes the demand which was once a need. For example, in school education or in college education or in workplace, English cannot be avoided. It is a common factor, everyone knows. There is not simply one particular person who can say no to this. Wherever we just visit or travel or come to know, the need of English is going higher and higher every day. A few years back, a survey released. As per the survey, 21.5% of the world population speak in English. Just imagine, 21.5% of world population speak in English. That is the greatest number if you just calculate. There is a split up in this. 375 million people, they have English as their 375 million people in the world population, they have English as their mother tongue. In addition, 335 million people, they use English as a second language or the third official language. Put together, almost 150 million people, they use English for their regular life. The need, if it is more, it becomes demand. This is the present demand in English. How come English in India has a strong, deep root? As I told you a few minutes back, there was the invasion of Britishers in India due to colonization, and we people, our forefathers, 2 or 3, 4 generations back, they just, due to disintegration among themselves, they somehow fall as a prey to the fate of British by selling or fighting or by doing any other business. Almost 70-80% of the Indian land, Britishers, they started to implement their language to be learned in this. What is it? Just imagine I'm a Britisher. I am a ruler in India. I have to convey certain things to Indian person. He doesn't or she doesn't know English. Instead of learning his or her language, I want him to learn my language so that I can communicate what is given to her authorities. This is a simple way of creating need. The need in those days was greater, and the need was not properly met. Automatically, the need becomes demand. That was the origin demand of English in those days. Britishers, they created the demand. They converted need of English learning into the demand of English learning. According to the census data in 2011, English is the first language. English is a first language of 3 to 5 lakh people in India. Please be clear, Indians, they don't have English as their mother tongue once. But 2011 census data said 3 lakh to 5 lakh people, they have English as their first language. Look at the change or the demand or the different scenario in India. This is the case. One more additional information I would like to add to this is first language people, as per the census data in 2011, 5 lakhs. What about the second language and third language users? In India alone, nearly 40 billion people of India. 46, look at the number. It is not simple. 40 billion people of Indians, as per 2011 survey, they have been using English officially, native language, or at the workplace, or the teaching place, or in even say to their regular day-to-day regular life, they use English. That is, the need has turned into demand slowly and steadily. The growth was not properly felt by Indians in those initial days. Thanks to the Almighty, we were not given birth in those days. We are in 21st century and 2020. The demand was very clear. Those people, they passed their life without knowing what is actually needed from them. Was not really felt except a few, except a handful, except a meager amount of people in India. But in this modern scenario, the scene is completely different. Not only those quite good people, everyone, even in the rural area, they do know what is the real demand. So how to meet the demand? It is very, very simple. The second most commonly used language in India after Hindi is English. Since in entire part of North India, people use English. Even today, some of you might have traveled to North Indian places. Even though we speak in English, they are only in Hindi. Look at the scenario in South India. Tamil, Malayalam, Telugu, or any other language. Kannada even for that matter. When a person to get an information from a person in South India, if he uses English, automatically we respond in English. Even simple conversation between two people, that quite naturally, that comes around 75% of the common talk, casual talk, that falls only in English. Irrespective of the region, belong to Tamil Nadu or Kerala or Kannada or Andhra, now Telangana. Casual talk that is being generated in English, that is quite natural. So this is the demand. Initially there was a need, but the need is turned into demand by the users. Look at the language of the market. 46 million people in India alone use language as a second and third language. This is the greatest demand in India alone. If you just calculate the number across the world, it will be even unimaginable. I said a few minutes back, some 750 million people, they have been using English as a first and second language regarding in terms of English. If you calculate all these things, present scenario 2020, the number might have gone to greater heights. Who knows? 21.5% might have been turned into 40%. Sir has said one thing: without mathematics, science cannot be studied. Modern era, without computer, science cannot study. This is my personal statement. I may be little exaggerating in this factor, but I feel that to some extent it is true. If you do not know English, you cannot learn anything. I may be wrong in certain cases. Because a few weeks back, there was a debate conducted in Vijay TV, Niya Nana. There was a tussle between the people in Tamil Nadu and the people residing in Tamil Nadu from some people born and brought up in Tamil Nadu, native of Tamil, they are in one particular group. People settle in Tamil Nadu from other states, not having Tamil as their. That is another topic. As for the thing, there was a heavy discussion which was going on. One particular point I would like to make. I want to meet the demand of English rather than learning my mother tongue. Why? For example, day-to-day life, whatever I enter in my regular life, I can ask the help of others, whatever the instructions posted or just in my way, I can ask others to read instead of me and get it to me. I cannot read, I cannot write in Tamil, but I can understand and I can read. This is the present scenario in Tamil Nadu. Can you manage in English the same? In Tamil Nadu, don't know how to read in English and how to write it in English. Can we manage? It's not possible, because all the job opportunities are very much joining hands in hand with English language. Even to a small job in government side, private sector, the first question, many of you might have experienced, introduce yourself. If we do not know how to meet the demand, automatically we may be shown course. This is the way to exit, we shall exit. People may simply say, so how to meet up the demand? Very simple. This is an internet era. Social media projected the importance of learning English in a great heights. Definitely it is a greater thing for projecting the importance of the demands of English. India witnessed a heavy pull of private schools, colleges, national corporates and other foreign studies for a talented individual with a strong grip of English. Means, I just want to put it in another way. You may be of any discipline. For the students community, I just want to say this. You may belong to any discipline. It is not a matter. You may have great amount of knowledge in your discipline. For example, computer science, you may be, or physics or chemistry or mechanical engineering, whatever the engineering you may be. You may have the repertoire full of information. If you do not know how to convert that information into an understandable form in English, what is the use? The demand is not met. All the richness in terms of knowledge is not met. So please do understand. You should know.
Hello? Hello? Nelson sir? Hello?
You should know. Hello?
Sir, Nelson sir?
Hello, is it audible? Hello, is it audible?
Audible,
Hello?
sir, audible, sir.
Hello?
Due to time lag, sir, kindly...
Hello, sir, is it audible?
Audible, sir. Audible,
Yeah,
sir.
5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 minutes. Just 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Thank you,
2 minutes.
Thank
Okay,
you,
just 2 minutes. I will complete. just complete the session in conversation. Play word games and create English ambience. Use references. Do not have fear in speaking English. Create English ambience. I wish in this Corona period, all the people, all the participants to have a strong health, to be retained and never been attacked by coronavirus, and they are at home and do not go out and be safe and retain our good health. And thank you one and all. Thanks the Dean, Science and Humanities, Head of Science and Humanities, and other members and other participants and other organizers. Thank you one and all. If any question, ask me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your enthusiastic ideas and innovative methods in English. Definitely we too also follow the steps and ideas given.
Thank you.
And here we have kind instructions. Participants, you can fill your
Thank you,
feedback.
thank you.
Presenters, you can go for the different platforms in a separate link, and you have clicked your respective links. Please follow the host instruction for a successful presentation. You will receive your e-certificate through your register mail ID within a week. Interested participants will also witness the presentation session. Kindly click your separate link now. The session is about to start. Thank you.
அரசே முடிச்சுக்கவா அரசே முடிச்சுக்கவா ரெக்கார்டு க்ளோஸ் பண்ணவா ரெக்கார்டை க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிக்கவா